Hi everybody, and welcome back into my kitchen where I'm showing you how to make a series of some of my favorite Persian dishes. Now you can find all the recipes and ingredient lists on my blog, which is aliasvibrantlife.com, so don't worry, but today I'm just going to show you how to make a very special dish, which is Persian rice, or cello as it's called, and this time we're going to make it with something called tahdig. Tahdig just means bottom of the pot, but it basically is a crispy buttery rice rosti that as you turn out the rice should sit on top. And really it is the most delectable thing. We fought over this when we were kids, so best to make more because it doesn't matter if you have any leftovers. I really doubt that you will. Now the important thing to remember when you're making rice is to go for the best top quality rice you can find. I'm going to be using very high quality basmati rice, and the first step, and I mean this is the thing when you're making Persian rice or rice in a Persian style, there is a bit of a process, but it's actually not that difficult. However, you do need to soak the rice first in very heavily salted water. So what I did was I took my cups of rice, rinsed them in a sieve under the tap, and then I've been soaking them in about 2 tablespoons of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, and at least triple the amounts of water. It needs to soak for at least 30 minutes to an hour, and this is really going to decrease the cooking time. But while our rice is soaking, we're going to make some saffron water. Really, to get the best out of saffron, you need to grind it into a powder. And if you add water to it and let it sit, you really get all those flavors coming out rather than just throwing the strands of saffron into whatever you're cooking. Because of course, we all know how expensive saffron is, and you really want to get the most out of it. And saffron is such a quintessentially Persian ingredient again. You know, it's hand-picked crocus tips. And the stamen of the crocus, and I mean it is just the most incredible spice, and it is supposedly also an aphrodisiac. I bet you didn't know that. So I'm going to put it in my pestle and mortar. I'm also going to add a little bit of sugar into the saffron. I'm not adding it because I need sweetness, I'm adding it to get a little bit of help with grinding the saffron into a powder, and that's just going to make it easier. There we go. And then you really want to have like somebody asked me if you could do this in a spice grinder. I've never tried that before. I can't see how that would work, so definitely stick with a pestle and mortar. Once you've finely ground your saffron into powder, you're going to add some warm water, and you'll see how beautiful you get this golden, beautiful color. And there we go. And we're going to use some of this saffron water in our rice when we're steaming it. But first, our rice has been soaking now for over an hour, so I'm going to drain the rice, rinse it under some running water first, and then I'm going to bring a pot of water to the boil. That's happening right now, and we're going to parboil our rice for 6 minutes. So my pot of water is at a rolling boil now. I've also added another 2 tablespoons of salt into this water. But think of it like, you know, when you're cooking pasta, you've got to add salt to the water, otherwise the pasta is not going to taste of anything. So I've got my rice that I rinsed under a sieve that has been soaking, and I'm going to add it into the pot. Now, what you want to do immediately is you do need a timer. You can use your phone or you can use the timer on your oven if you have one. And you're going to time for 6 minutes from the point at which you put the rice in. So not from where you bring it to a reboil, okay? You want to make sure that you time 6 minutes from the point you put the rice into the pot. So I've just drained my rice. It par cooked for 6 minutes, and you can always try a few grains. You'll see that it's almost there actually, but still al dente a little bit, needs a little bit more time for cooking. I'm going to take about a cupful, and put it in a separate bowl. In the meantime, by the way, I've also washed my pot that I was using to boil the rice. You don't want any starch sticking to the bottom. Ideally, you want a really good non-stick pot. I know in Iran, most people who take these things seriously have their own pots specifically dedicated just to rice. Okay, so I've got about a cupful of rice there. I'm now going to add some melted butter. As I said, all these quantities are on my blog, so please just go on there and have a look if you want to know how to make this rice properly. I'm also going to add a couple of teaspoons of my saffron water. Actually, we call it 3. This is going to give the tahdig at the bottom of the pot a really lovely golden color. And I'm going to add a large tablespoon, call it 2 sort of measuring spoon tablespoons of natural yogurt, and give all of this a really good mix, just very gently. I don't want to break the rice up. But you can see that lovely yellowy color, or golden color should I say. I can smell the butter in the rice, absolutely delicious. Now the yogurt is going to help the tahdig stick together a little bit and form this beautiful golden crust. So I'm getting my pot now. There we go. And I'm going to put the yogurt, rice and saffron mixture into my pot. And actually on one of my cooking courses, one of the ladies who came to one of my cooking courses suggested a genius thing, which is a potato masher, just to schluff it down. And then the next thing I'm going to do is very gently shower the rice onto that base. Whew, lots of steam. Okay, from this point, I'm just gonna get a wooden spoon and make holes, not all the way through past the base, but just very small holes to help steam rise through the rice. I'm gonna add a little bit more butter as well. Just a few knobs in some of the holes. Let's do it this way rather. I think butter makes everything better. And I promise you, when you cook rice this way, it seems like it's quite a convoluted process, but once you get the hang of it, you will not cook rice any other way. Really. There we go. I'm also going to just drizzle another teaspoon, 2 of my saffron water over the top, just for a bit of colour. And this is going to go on the hob. I'm going to start it on quite a strong flame because I really want to get the tahdig starting to cook at the bottom. I want to hear a little bit of a sizzle. Once I'm hearing that sizzle, I'm going to turn the temperature down and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the lid of the pot. So I've started to hear my tahdig at the bottom, or the rice sizzling at the bottom where I put that yogurt layer. All I've done is I've tied a dishcloth around the lid, and I've done this because I want steam rising to catch into the cloth. I don't want water forming a nice sort of pool at the top of the lid and then dribbling back down into the rice, because that's just going to make my rice soggy, which is not the point here. The point is you want this crispy rice rosti at the bottom of the pot. So I can hear it sizzling away now, and I'm going to seal it up, and I'm going to turn the temperature really low. It's onto the lowest as it can be on that ring. Now for this amount of rice, I'm going to leave it there for 30 minutes. I'm going to have a quick check, but the last time I did 3 cups of rice in this pot, it took me 40 minutes on a low heat before I got that really nice crispy disc. I'd love to say there is a magic formula here. You really just have to try it a few times and see. It really depends on your pot, it depends on your flame, but it's exciting anyway. So my rice is ready now. I've checked the bottom and I can feel there's some crispy bits on the side. I'm going to take my lid off. Ooh, lots of steam. It smells so fragrant and lovely. I'm just going to wait for that to calm down a little bit. Now this is the tricky bit. You've got to tip the rice out. Now also, you don't have to do this. You could spoon the rice out and lift the tahdig off the bottom. It really doesn't matter. You're going to probably have to cut it up anyway, otherwise you're going to have very angry people, some people getting bigger pieces than others. I'm going to just tip it out in one piece. It really doesn't matter if it comes out in one piece or not. I've got a very nice non-stick pot here. That's going to make it easier. If you've got a stainless steel pot, then maybe dip it into a sink with a few inches of very cold water. That will help the rice contract and move away from the side of the pan. Okay, let's have a go with this. It's always tricky, never the easiest, but let us give it a go. Oh, let me go. The moment of truth. there she is. Beautiful, golden, crispy, buttery tahdig. Now, you can also pimp this up a little bit if you want. If you can find them, some lovely zareshk berries. These are Iranian barberries. Really, they're just small, little, juicy, tart, little, I guess, bursts of acid, you know, that acidic burst, which is so pleasant. I will pan fry them with a little bit of butter. Also some nice fried onions as well, onions that have been fried in butter, so I'm getting a little steam bath here from all the rice. I've also got some very beautiful little pistachios, liver pistachios, that will also look beautiful on the rice. You can really dress it exactly how you want, but I would get in there first to get some of that tahdig.